and we try to extrude that face in, they're kind of clipping together here, which is not what we want. So we're going to just hit Control Z to undo that, or Command Z, and we have to temporarily just come here under our modifiers to our mirror modifier and just untick clipping. So now if we hit E to extrude and we extrude it out, so I just hit E to extrude, so we're extruding it out, and then just click somewhere here to stop that action. You can see we've now extruded the legs. We can now enable clipping again, as we do still need the clipping. With this vert still selected or active, you can now go S to scale them. And if you accidentally did deselect them, all you have to do is just click somewhere here, just drag over them and select them. You can also just go to your face select and just select the face. So for now, let's just actually go to face select and select the face. Go into our front view again. For that face active, we're just going to go down to about here, which would be where our knees are. Bring them in a little bit closer. And then we're going to just rotate. So hit R to rotate in your front view. Flatten them out just a bit. And then E to extrude. Bring them down to about here. And then S to scale with that face still active. And then G. And just move it over to the side. So hit G and just move it over like that. So you can see now we have the legs coming down. Like that. Very, very simple. Very basic so far. But let's get started with the top here. So we're going to go, so holding in my middle mouse button to rotate, I'm going to select the top face here. And then what we're going to do is go back into our front view, and we're going to go R to rotate, and we're going to rotate that face just a little bit like this, just to give a bit of a slant to the shoulder. And then we're going to do something that might be a little bit tricky if you're new to it, but we need to add in some extra geometry here. And the way we're going to do that, so we're going to go over to our edge select here. So click on edge select. Then you're going to hover your cursor over this edge here. And if you hit Control R or Command R, you should see this yellow line appearing. And if you roll your middle mouse button, you can see these yellow lines increase. If you roll it down, they decrease. So that is what we call a cut. We're adding in an edge loop here, or a cut. So once you see the yellow line, just left click, and you can move the cursor once you've done your left click, to slide it. Once you've kind of let go of it, so if you click again and that option is no longer there, you can just hit G twice with that edge still active. So hit G twice, and that allows you to slide it along the edges. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to slide it right down to about here. And that gives us this square over here. So let's quickly go to our face select option. Click on this square, and then we're going to go into our front orthographic view, and we're just going to go S to scale. I'm going to scale that square down a bit, so just S to scale, and go back into your front view, rotate it a little, and we're square, and then we're going to go into our front orthographic view, face to about here, and that gives us this square over here. So let's quickly go to our face select option, click on this square, and then we're going to go into our front orthographic view. And we're just going to go S to scale. I'm going to scale that square down a bit. So just S to scale. And go back into your front view, rotate it a little bit more, and then G to move it over to the side of it. So just hit G, and then you're going to go E to extrude, and then with that face, hitting 1 on the numpad. So we're just going to rotate that face like that, Then we're going to click on this bottom face. Once again, back into our like that. Then we're going to click on this bottom face. Once again, back into our front view. R to rotate it a little bit like this. G to move it up. And now we're going to go E and we're going to extrude that face out. I'm going to bring it to about here. And then S to scale it. And then hit G and move it just to the side here. You can kind of use a bit of creative license here, place it however you want, but I'm just going to put mine here, and then we go R to rotate. Then I'm going to go E to extrude, and I'm going to go S, X, and just flatten that face. Just like that for now. And then I'm going to hover over this edge here with my cursor, and I'm going to go Control R. Once again, we see the yellow line. Just left click. You can move the cursor to move it, but I'm just going to leave it there by left clicking again. Go into your front view, and then with that active, you can just hit G and just move it out just a little bit. And then R to rotate that edge. So now we have the arms coming together. It's still very primitive at this point, but we are trying to make this as basic as possible for beginners to understand how modeling works. So let's hold in Shift in our front view just so we can move around. Once again, just remember that. And roll your middle mouse button to zoom in. And now we're just going to hit Z, and we're going to go into wireframe. And we're going to go to our vertex select option, and over here in the front you can just click anywhere and drag, and we can select vertices. So I'm just going to select these guys here, and I'm going to hit G, and I'm just going to move it up just to make the legs a little bit shorter. And this is where you can come in and you can correct the proportions however you want. So it's completely up to you how you want to do that. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. And with these bottom verts actually selected here, what we're now going to do is we're going to scale them just a little bit more, and we're going to make the feet.